Hi mga ka-cordates! It's me, Sir Yong, and welcome to my channel. Plants are found everywhere. Some plants are terrestrial and the others are aquatic. They are very important in all forms of life because they provide different organisms with food, medicine, shelter, clothing, and fresh oxygen. Furthermore, they beautify our surroundings. So plants are classified as vascular and non-vascular plants. Vascular plants have vascular tissues that transport water and substances in the plant. Ang example po ng vascular plants are the ferns, the pines, and oaks. On the other hand, non-vascular plants don't have vascular tissues. So the example of the non-vascular plants are the liverworts, hornworts, and mosses. So in this video, we will explore the different kinds of plants. We shall begin our study on the plant kingdom by first performing a simple activity. Given the picture of two different plants, answer the succeeding question. What are the similarities of the two plants? How will you differentiate plant A from plant B in terms of color, height, and structure? Why is plant A shorter than plant B? How did this happen? Kung alam mo na yung sagot, ay pwede na pala ikaw lumabas. Charot lang. Of course, if you know the answer, just comment your answer below. And if you don't know yet, just keep on watching. Since pinapanood mo pa to, ibig sabihin yan, hindi mo pa alam ang sagot. Now, pag-usapan natin ngayon ang vascular and non-vascular plants. Non-vascular plants are simple plants that inhabit land. So, these plants are lack of vascular tissues. In addition, they don't form seeds or flower. So, the height of these plants are only reaches 1 or 2 centimeters. The non-vascular plants consist of 3 major divisions: the bryophyta, the hepatophyta, and the anthocerophyta. Now, isa-isahin po natin yung mga divisions. First is the bryophyta. So, an example of a bryophyte is the moss, which is the most common non-vascular plant. Mosses grow in mat formation where the plants grow tightly to hold each other. This mat has a spongy quality and retains water. Mosses also have rhizoids, a root-like structure. They use this structure to adhere to surfaces and to absorb water. Mosses also have stems, which could either be branched or unbranched. The stem may also bear a leaf-like structure. The second division of the non-vascular plant is the hepatophyta. The common example of hepatophyta is the liverworts. Liverworts don't have stems or leaf-like structures. Their body is divided into grooved lobes. Some liverworts have cells which are shaped like a coin. Anthocerophyta includes the different species of hornworts, which have elongated capsules in its structures that develop and appear like horns. One distinguishing characteristic of this plant is the presence of a single large chloroplast in its cells. So, di ba nga, ang chloroplast is an organelles that responsible for photosynthesis. At yun po ang 3 major divisions of non-vascular plants. So, dapat tandaan, BHA. So, B stands for bryophyta, H stands for the hepatophyta, and A stands for anthocerophyta. Bryophyta or the mosses, hepatophyta or the liverworts, and the Anthocerophyta for the hornworts. Now, let's proceed to the vascular plants. Vascular plants have vascular tissues, but since we're learning here, we are going to use the term tracheophytes for the vascular plants. So the vascular tissues of these plants consist of the xylem and phloem. Na-mention po natin ang xylem at saka phloem. So, dapat nating tandaan kapag sinabi nating xylem, it conducts the water. So, ibig sabihin, siya po ang nakumukuha or nakikarry sa water para ma-distribute siya all over the parts of the plants. While kapag sinabi naman nating phloem, it conducts the substances such as sugar inside the plant. Since tracheophytes have vascular tissues, of course, these kind of plants, meron po silang roots, stems, at saka leaves. Now, alam naman natin yung basic function of the roots. Of course, it anchors the plant to the soil and absorb nutrients. Next is the leaves. It is responsible for photosynthesis. Now, hindi yan maiintindihan ng grade 1 or grade 2. So, ang ginagawa ko, or ang ini-explain ko dyan, leaf is a kitchen, or leaves serve as the kitchen part of the plant because doon po nangyayari ang food processing. So, ano nga ang photosynthesis? Now, ang photosynthesis, it is a process of producing glucose or a simple sugar from water and carbon dioxide with the use of sunlight. Function naman ng stem is to transport the nutrients and water throughout the plants. The tracheophytes can be divided into 3 major groups: the seedless vascular plants, the gymnosperms, and the angiosperms. Now, isa-isahin natin ngayon ang tatlong grupo. First is the seedless vascular plant. One example of a xylophyta is the whisk fern, which looks like a whisk brooms and are not true ferns. They are also used as ornamental plants. They are common in tropical and subtropical areas. The vascular tissues of these plants are found inside the stem. They have also rhizomes, which absorb nutrients from the soil. Some other example of the seedless vascular plants are the lycophytes, such as the club mosses, the sphenophyta, such as the horsetail, and the pterophyta, such as ferns. The next group is the gymnosperms, or the vascular plants with seeds. So, example of the gymnosperms are the conifers, the cycads, the ginkgophytes, and the genetophytes. Conifers like spruce, cedar, and pine trees are mostly evergreen. They are found in the areas with snow where they adapt well. Their adaptation could be observed in their cone-shaped seed, which slides the snow from the branches to prevent it from breaking. In addition, the needle leaves of coniferous trees prevent water loss. Cycads are characterized by a stout trunk and the presence of a compound leaves. These plants inhabit the trophic regions. These plants were used to be the source of food of dinosaurs and serve as an important link to the ancient seed plants. Ginkgophytes are known as the living fossils. So in today's time, the only species left is the Ginkgo biloba, which have a large fan-like leaves that fall during the winter. So these species are found in the China. Genetophytes closely resemble plants that bear flowers. Flowers, the genetophytes have vessel bearing. They are found to inhabit the desert and mountains of Asia, Africa, and South America. Examples of the genetophyte are the genetum, which is a tropical climbing plant, ephedra, which is the shrub-like plant, and the welwitschia, which is a low-lying desert dweller that can live for 100 years. The last group of the vascular plant is the angiosperms, or the flowering plant. An example of the angiosperm is the sampagita. The flower may contain the male and female reproductive parts of the plants. The male sex organ is called the stamen. At the end of the stamen is the anther, which produces the pollen grain. The pollen grains contain the sperm nuclei, which are needed for plant reproduction. The female sex organ is called the pistil. The pistil contains the egg or ovule. It has a stigma that allows the pollen to reach the ovary. The reproductive parts of the flower provide us food such as a fruit and an ornamental such as a flower. So the flowering plants can classify as either a monocot or a dicot. A monocot plant has one cotyledon while dicots have two cotyledons. The cotyledons are structures found in the plant embryo which may form the leaves when the plant grows. At yun po ang three major groups of vascular plants: the seedless vascular plants, the gymnosperm or the vascular plants with seeds, and the angiosperm or the flowering plants. And that is the part 1 of Kingdom Planting. I hope you've learned a lot on this video, and I hope also na nasagutan na yung mga questions ko kanina. And if you have already your answers, just comment your answer below. Now, watch out for our next topic, which is the vascular plants anatomy. Goodbye mga coordinates, and see you sa ating next vlog.